Hello friends, I am Piyush, having 8 plus years of experience in data warehousing. Today I am going to talk about data warehousing, which eventually will help you understand it better. Now first of all, before understanding the data warehousing, let us compare it with the normal terminology, that is warehouse. So what exactly is the warehouse? A warehouse is a place where goods are physically stocked to facilitate a smooth flow of business without any production downtime or crisis. So how is it similar to the data warehouse? Now the data warehouse is read-only database which copies or stores the data from the transactional database. So in a way we are stocking the data. Okay. Now why do we need this data warehouse? For that we need to understand the requirement of any operational or analysis system. The operational systems need performance, whereas the analysis systems need flexibility and broad scope. The purpose of data warehouse is to create a permanent storage space for the data which is there for reporting, analysis or other business intelligence functions. Now how the BI business intelligence comes into picture? BI turns the massive data coming from the operational system in a format that is easy to understand and it is current and correct, so that decisions can be made on the basis of the data which is there. So it is actually helps in the decision making process. Now by definition, a data warehouse is a structured environment, a repository of logically and physically transformed non-volatile data which is there for the fast analysis. So in simple business terms, it helps for a quick analysis with respect to the data which is there. A data from the multiple data sources, as already told, is converted into a usable information, and on the basis of usable information a knowledgeable understanding for the decision making process is created. But technically, what is the data warehouse? In somewhat more technical definition, a data warehousing is the process of extracting, integrating, filtering, standardizing, transforming and cleaning and quality checking of the organization applications data and storing it in a consolidated database. Now what exactly is extracting here? Extracting is simply the checking of data from the disparate data sources. What is integrating? As we know, integrating means putting together the different data from different databases or different data sources is extracted into a consistent format, clubbed together in a consistent format. Filtering is the general process of having the required data only from the different OLTP or external sources. For example, a user may be interested only in the last 5 years sales data in a particular organization. So it's a filtering. Standardizing is the moving of data. As the data get moved from to or from the different OLTP database or flat file systems into one target database, it needs to be standardized in a common format. For example, a date field is there or a flag field is there. Transformation. Extracted data must be transformed before getting into data warehouse. It is a prerequisite. And cleaning and quality checking is done for the data quality and the accuracy of the data which is coming there in the data warehouse. Now let us see the different Characteristics of data warehouse. It is subject oriented, it is integrated, it is non-volatile, data is non-volatile, and it is time variant as well. Now how it is subject oriented? The data warehouses are designed to analyze the data. Suppose a sales executive wants to learn more about top 10 customers. Then a data warehouse is built with a focus on the sales only. So in a way, a sales specific data warehouse is created which can be used for the top 10 customer analysis with respect to the sales area only. So it provides a subject oriented approach. Integrated already told you that different data coming from different databases must be come into must club together into a consistent format. It's a characteristic as well. So they must resolve the naming conflicts and inconsistencies among the units of measures in order to integrate. Non-volatile. It means that once the data is entered into the database or the data warehouse, it cannot be changed. Time variant means in order to find the business trends, management needs to analyze large amount of data quickly, in contrast to the OLTP where performance requirements lead to archival of history data. So for a future analysis or large amount of data analysis, it is required the data is there. So it's time variant. Now let us see the comparison between the OLTP versus OLAP. OLTP, the online transaction processing, it captures the transaction information necessary to run their business operation. But OLAP, the online analytical processing, on the other hand, analyzes the transactional information at the aggregated level to improve the decision making process. OLTP needs performance. Why? Because as high processing require high processing of data, whereas OLAP needs flexibility and broad scope, as complex queries may take time. Sometimes it may take hours as well. Detailed and correct data is to be there in the OLTP. Why detailed? Because there are a lot of data coming into the OLTP online transaction processing. For example, suppose a withdrawal function, you can say, from a bank account. It performs update operation when there are money transaction, when money transaction is involved from the account, withdrawal of the account, saving from any account, bank account, saving account, current account as well. So detailed analysis of the data should be there. But in OLAP, the aggregated or historical data is there. For example, suppose an organization might be interested in finding out what is the profit changing over the last 5 years across the different regions. So for that purpose, we need to have historical data available with us, and it should be aggregated in such a way that and simpler analysis is possible, although there are complex queries involved. OLTP is a transactional database store, and OLAP on the other hand, the database is like multi-dimensional schemas. It's a brief comparison between OLTP and OLAP, which is also a backbone of data warehouse. Now let us understand the data warehouse architecture. As already told, data warehouse is a collection of various data from an organization. The data to be extracted come from different data sources, be it be operational systems such as sales, HR, inventory, marketing, or any system data. Data can also come from ERP systems as well, such as SAP. And there are CRM systems also from which the data can come. CRM can be Salesforce. Also there are flat files from which the data can come. The data then extracted from the data sources layer into a staging area with the help of ETL tool. ETL tools can be Informatica, Data Stage. What is the purpose of ETL? ETL performs extraction, transformation and loading. The first step of extraction involves extracting the data from various data sources in one staging area. Having the data extracted, we need to transform that for subsequent data processing, so data transformation is done. The next step is the loading of data into data warehouse. But before loading, the data get cleaned as per the user requirement. In data warehouse, basically there are three things: metadata, summary data and raw data. What is metadata? Metadata is actually data about data. It is one of the important aspects of data warehouse. It helps the data warehouse to analyze, identify and find what the data is and where it is actually stored. The second is summary data. Summary data is the data which is actually stored in the summary tables. Summary tables are aggregated and summarized for performance reasons. Mostly the queries run against the summary tables only. Raw data. What is raw data? As we know, raw data is something which is not being used. Exactly, in data warehouse, the raw data is sometimes also known as source data or atomic data, which is not used for processing. But when the data is processed, information is the actual end product. Lastly, at the presentation point of view, there are different tools and technologies involved. OLAP, online analytical processing, which is actually already discussed, is a multidimensional query processing approach on the data warehouse data. Reporting, like business intelligence. There are different BI tools like Cognos, then BO, business objects, then open source tools like ClickView, Pentaho. There are different tools available in the market which can be used by businesses to see how their business is growing or doing. What will be the business do in the future and what can they do to improve the business on the basis of actually analyzing this data coming from the data warehouse. In a way, it is helping a decision making. Lastly, the data mining. The purpose of data mining is to extract the information from the data set and transform it into an understandable structure for further use purposes. If we say or compare it in today's context, the data mining is used in fraud detection purposes, as an ad in marketing campaigns, and also in even the supermarkets use it to study their consumers, the behavior patterns. So that's all about data warehouse architecture. Now, if you have any queries or training request, please visit my blog piyushcognos.blogspot.in, or you can simply email to me at cognos.piyush@gmail.com. Thank you.